Okay, let's talk about the sharp end of this stick. What happens if Amazon's community team decides you've crossed a line?
The penalties are not minor. The sources we looked at lay out some really severe consequences.
Like what?
Content removal, for starters. They can limit your ability to use community features, like posting on forums. They can suspend or even terminate your entire account.
And what about your money?
They can withhold payments. And in some cases, there's even potential for legal action for violating FTC laws on deceptive practices. They don't mess around because the whole platform runs on trust.
So how do they enforce this? It starts with figuring out who is connected to whom, right?
Exactly. The algorithms are specifically designed to sniff out what they call non-organic reviews, especially from friends, family, or even other authors you associate with.
The problem for the author, I guess, is that Amazon just has so much data to make those connections.
A staggering amount. They're looking for shared IP addresses, so reviewing from the same house. They check social media links you might have on your author profile, and this is a big one, they can link accounts through Amazon address lists.
But how would Amazon know I sent my mom a copy of my book? That feels like really personal data.
It's all about patterns. If you've used your Amazon account to send Christmas or birthday gifts to the same physical address as the person who then leaves a glowing review,
The algorithm flags that relationship.
it flags it. If your accounts share payment information, or if you're frequently interacting on social platforms tied to your author profile, all these little flags go up. The goal is to make sure reviews are from genuine arm's-length customers, not people with a built-in bias.
And this goes beyond just friends and family. There's a specific violation they call out called review gating.
Review gating. Yeah, this is the act of selectively asking for reviews.
So how does that work?
An author might send out a private survey to everyone who downloaded their book. If a reader says they had a positive experience, they get a link saying, "Great, please leave a public review on Amazon."
And if they had a bad
If
experience?
they had a negative experience, they're sent to a private feedback form. Something like, "We're so sorry, let us fix this for you privately."
I mean, that sounds like good customer service on the surface.
It does, but it completely destroys the integrity of a public review system.
Because you're filtering the data?
You're manipulating the data set the algorithm sees. Amazon wants an unbiased sample of feedback. And on top of that, sellers are explicitly forbidden from asking a customer to change or remove a negative review, even if you give them a full refund. Once it's public, it's part of the record.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. This is the core of our deep dive. If you're an author and you're tempted to use one of those services that promise reviews, or you're doing author-to-author credit swaps, like on those platforms mentioned in the sources, Bookblaze or Pubbie, you are running straight into Amazon's most advanced line of defense. We know they're using very sophisticated AI and machine learning. They removed over 200 million fake reviews in 2024 alone. But how does the AI actually see the cheating,
This is the critical shift. The system moves its focus away from the content of the review,
which can be faked now with generative AI anyway?
easily. Instead, it focuses entirely on the structure of the community. Amazon's primary defense here is identifying the structure of the network. This is the technical nugget we promised.
Okay, tell us about this network structure insight.
The core idea is that products that buy fake reviews are highly clustered in the product reviewer network.
What does that mean, highly clustered?
Think about it like this. Organic, real reviews come from millions of totally separate, unconnected customers all over the world. Reviewer A has no idea who reviewer B is. They just both happen to like your book cover.
They're dispersed.
Completely dispersed. But fake review schemes, especially the ones that rely on a pool of paid reviewers or author swap communities like Book Bounty, they have to use a relatively small, common group of people to get the job done.
Because it's a closed system.
It's a closed system. If author A, B, and C all use the same review service, their books suddenly become linked through this small shared pool of reviewers. It creates a tight little digital neighborhood, a cluster.
And Amazon's AI is basically a map of all these neighborhoods, and it's looking for the ones that are suspiciously tight-knit.
That's a perfect analogy. It's like looking at a social map and noticing one small block where everyone is somehow related, works at the same place, and goes to the same church. That's the red flag.
So how does the AI technically measure that tightness?
It uses some pretty advanced metrics from a field of math called graph theory. The first one is called the clustering coefficient.
Okay, what's that?
In simple terms, it measures how interconnected a reviewer community is. So if reviewer 1 reviews product A, and reviewer 2 reviews product B, and then reviewer 1 also reviews product B, you start to form a triangle. a closed loop.
The more of those closed loops you
The
have.
higher your clustering coefficient. It's a direct measure of how insular and self-referential a group is.
So it's basically a mathematical measure of cliquishness.
Exactly. The second metric is eigenvector centrality. That sounds really complex, but the idea is actually pretty intuitive. It measures influence.
So it's about finding the kingpin, the key player in that closed loop.
Yes. If you have one reviewer, let's call them reviewer X, and they are connected to dozens of other reviewers who are themselves connected to dozens of shady products, reviewer X has a very high eigenvector centrality.
They're the hub of the network.
They're the hub of the bad neighborhood. Amazon uses this to find the most influential nodes in these fraudulent clusters.
And what's so fascinating is that the sources say these network features, the clustering, the centrality, they are way more effective than just analyzing the text of the review. Why is that?
Because it is so much more expensive and difficult for the bad actors to hide the network structure.
You can change the words.
You can change the words with AI, you can change the timing of the post, you can use different accounts, but you cannot easily change the fact that you are fundamentally relying on the same small group of people to deliver the reviews.
The business model itself creates the fingerprint.
The business model creates the detectable pattern. It is simply too expensive to hire millions of totally random, unconnected people to post fake reviews. That limitation is what makes the network analysis so predictive.
And the system is so powerful it can find these groups on its own.
That's the most powerful part. Amazon doesn't even need to know which products are buying reviews to start with. The research shows they can use what's called unsupervised clustering, like an algorithm called k-means, to just scan the network map and find these suspicious, tightly knit groups automatically.
And the results are pretty staggering.
Unbelievable. In the study, they found that just two small clusters, which was only 3.4% of the products they looked at, contained about 70% of all the products that were identified as buying fake reviews.
70%. That's how effective it is. It's all about the who, not the what's.